Hello and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to do another unboxing of a board game we just picked up. It's called the Grand Austria Hotel, and it's created by Mayfair Games. Originally, I think, published by Lookout Games. And it's going to be created by Simon Luciani and Virginio Gili. Excuse me if I mispronounce your names, but Italian designers. And again, this is Grand Austria Hotel. Let's take a look at the back cover here, as we usually do. It's a game of dice manipulation, dice rolling, as well as work replacement. You take actions, fill rooms. Got a little Tetris-y thing into filling the rooms in it and everything. Bunch of different ways to score. But definitely a fun little game we've been looking at for a while, and decided to pick up. So it's got a 2 to 4 players, as you can see here, approximately 90 minutes game, and ages recommended for ages 12 and out. And Lookout Spiele is actually the other company, but definitely been looking at a lot of playthroughs and everything else, and decided to pick it up. And this is made in Germany, as you can see here, made in Germany. And very nice box and everything. So let's check it out. Alrighty, take out the box cover. Okay. Alright, put that there. Okay, let's see what we have inside here. So inside we have these are your customer cards, and what you're going to be doing in the game is you're going to be serving customers at your restaurant at the hotel, and you're going to be, once you serve them, putting them into rooms into your hotel. So that's and to become the grandest hotel in Austria. So let's see what we got here. Take this off here. So right, a lot of these cards represent, I guess, designers and other things from the industry. So as you can see here, this customer right here the goods tiles are on the left. That's what he's going to be eating here, or drinking. And I believe that's wine is the red, and strudel, I think, is the gray. But anyway, we'll look at that in a second. But he'll cost a total of 2 to buy. Well, he'll give you a total of 2 victory points, and he gives you special powers when you do them. So each customer is going to have different things that they can do. Different colors. So different colors will go into different room colors. So you have to prepare room colors of that color. So there you go. So there's different things you can get. Some you can get, they'll give you money. Some will give you reputation and whatnot. So this is just some examples of the cards in the game. So big thick deck of that. Now these right here are going to be your workers you can hire, and they'll allow you to do special things in the game. You can play a couple different ways. You can draw them randomly, or you can do an auction to determine who gets what. This guy costs 4 money, and he gives you an extra, I think, strudel or cake or something. This is cake, actually. So she'll give you an extra cake every time you use her. Wine and coffee. So there's 4 goods. There's wine, coffee, strudel, and cake that you serve. This guy will give you 2 extra money, plus he'll allow you to pick an extra customer. And some of these are ongoing. You can use them over and over again. Some of them are one-time use, and some of them are for end-game scoring. So, big thick deck of these. And again, these prices are adjustable depending upon your dice rolls and stuff, which we'll go into in a second. Alright, so here are your die. Some wooden die right here. So, the number of die you use depends upon the player count in the game. Player discs. These are your goods here, or your cake, strudel, coffee, and wine. You can upgrade these too. There are some pretty cool upgrades that will look like actual coffee cakes or strudel cakes or bottles of wine, etc. So there's that. Some bags to put your tokens in, which is kind of a standard practice nowadays. And now here are your player boards. First, I'll show you. So these are your player boards, and they're going to be double-sided. One's at night and one's during the day. I think the night ones are actually all the same. I think so. Let me check here. Yeah, the way the rooms are organized, the combos of the rooms here. Like this is a set right here. This is a set, just the one, and then these are sets. This is a set right here, and they're divided by these thick walls right here. The thick ones will divide the different groups and everything. You get different scoring objectives in each game depending upon what the size of the groups that you complete and everything. Kind of like if you're familiar at all with the Castles of Burgundy, the game there, and when you get when you complete certain amounts of sizes of different types of tiles, you get different points, and depending upon what round you're on and all that stuff. I think here, I don't think it matters what round you're on. I think it just matters what size. And if you complete the blue objectives, you get victory points here based on the size of the rooms. Here, it's the you get red. You get different types. You get money, depending upon. And money is kind of tight in this game usually, depending upon the size of the groups of the rooms you complete. And this will increase you on the Emperor's track, which is a method of scoring in the game, which can give you bonuses or actually cause negative things to happen. But we'll show you that when we get to the actual community board there, the main board. Here is where you track your money. This is where you keep your extra goods inside your cafe here. And you put your customers down below. You can only have 3 customers at one time, so you have to serve them there. And if you don't serve them by the end of the game, they're worth negative points at the end. So you want to make sure you serve and get rooms for your customers in the end. And then the backs here, you can see, are different. So this is the day version, is the advanced version of the game, the variant. And each player will get a different, add some asymmetry to the game to start with. So you're recommending you all start with the same. There's 4 player boards. It's a 1 to 4 player. Okay, let's see here. It's technically a 2 to 4 player, so there is a 1 player variant. So it's not an official thing, but I've seen some done on the solo version, and it seems like a really solid solo version. All right, and now you're going to have your tokens here, your punch-outs. Nice thick punch-outs here. These are for your players here. And if you're the first player, and to say that's a 2-player game, you're going to go first and fourth, so you'll get this tile. If you're second, you'll get the second and third actions. So if you're playing up to a 4-player game, if you're the first player, you have to wait all the way until it comes back, snakes back around you for the 8th action too. So there can be a 4-player game. There can be some downtime in it. I guess it's recommended 2-player is probably the best. 2 and 3-player. If you go much beyond that, it could be, and especially if you have people that are prone to analysis paralysis, it could extend the length of the game too. So you want to keep the game. You could actually, I suppose, use a timer of some sort. Anyway, this is a trash can here, which you can pass on a turn and re-roll dice and everything. But I'll show you that when we get to it. These right here are positives and negatives on the Emperor track. These are the positive effects and negative effects, and there's a whole bunch of different tiles, as you'll see. So there's a lot of replayability in the game. So that's 1 there. Here are the tokens for the rooms, and these are the preparing a room, you put one of these tiles on it, and it costs money depending upon what level you're on. So if you look at the player board, to prepare a room on this level, it's free, and it's 1, 2, and 3 money to prepare rooms on there. And you can get things for preparing free rooms and everything like that too, through your workers or through bonuses for your customers. So these are the rooms. These are the yellow and the blue room tokens that you complete. You can see these are nice and thick right here. And then these are the rooms. Once they're occupied, you turn and you put a customer in them. You turn around to occupied. Okay, so that's one of those. Here is another one with some more yellow, red, and blue on them. And the green ones can go in any room. So the green customer is kind of like a wild customer. They can go into any of the rooms, as you'll see here. Let's see if I can show you a green customer. Some red. Looks like they organized them according to color here, but so there's definitely a lot of replayability in this. Different customers can come. Here we go. Here's some green ones right here. So these guys are like wild. They're ladies. And I think this one is based on a character from the board game world to look like certain designers and such. Anyway, those are just a few more of those. And then here is your here's your main board. One of your main boards is actually 3 main boards here. So, all right, let me put these aside over here, and set those up and show you what that amounts to. And we'll be right back with an overview of the board. Alrighty, and here's an example of the here here's the board setup. And on the left here you have your you put your customers when they come in there on the tables there, and this is how much money they cost, and they'll slide left to right as you put them on. So they start, some of these are free, and then some of them are worth up to 3, but you have to pay 3 too. Each turn you're going to get a chance to pick a customer, each one of your actions, if you want to. And again, you can only have 3 customers at the most at one time in the restaurant. And then up top here is where you put your objectives, or I can't remember what they call it, the exact name of that is, but is a special name for that, but they're basically your objectives for the game to try to get. And then over here is going to be your turns, the turn order, so there's 7 rounds to the game. And then these right here, at the end of the 3rd, 5th, and 7th, they'll be scoring for the Emperor track. And there's numerous playthroughs that show you how to do that, so I'm not going to really go into that here, but needless to say, at the end of each track, end of each round, you're going to subtract the round number, and you're going to, I believe this is what it is, and then you're going to do a scoring, and if you're in this range, you're going to get the bonus objective. If you're in this range, you're not going to get anything, but you're not going to get anything against you, and if you're in this final range over here, then you're going to lose whatever it is on there, on the cards. And those are all clear at the beginning of the game. So those are random. Around, you're going to have, it's a Euro game, so you're going to have your scoring track. Goes to 0 to 75, and then once you get past that, there's a token to get ahead of that. And then over here is where you're going to roll all your die, and it'll determine what action you take. Like you'll roll them all out, and you put whatever you get in each one of these right here. Here, the one action is going to be the strudel versus cake, and you can never take more strudel than cake. So, for instance, if there's 2 die here, you'd have to take 1 of each, 1 strudel and 1 cake. If there's 3 die, then you could take 2 strudel and 1 cake. But you couldn't do 2 cake and 1 strudel, because you can see this is a greater than or equal to, so it's a math thing. So that you have to always take at least the same amount of strudel as cake, if not more. It is an odd number. Same thing with wine to coffee, although well, if I would have invented this game, I would have taken thinking coffee is more valuable, but but I'm not, and wine, I guess, is more expensive, so you can think of it that way. Here is you can take a, what is that one right there? Oh, you can prepare a room. So if you had 3 threes, you could prepare up to 3 rooms. Now you still have to pay the amount that you cost you, so you'd have to pay that, but that would allow you to do up to 3 rooms there. Here is, this is advancing on the Emperor track, so if you had a certain amount, you could advance on the Emperor track, and I think you can, if you pay an extra $1, you can, I think that's what it is. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it somehow involves money to advance further on the Emperor track, I believe. Here is you can hire a worker, and if you had, like, say, a worker, I'll show you an example here. Say if you wanted to hire this worker here, this worker costs 5. So if you rolled 3 die on the 5 track, you could subtract $3 and hire this worker for $2. So you start with a certain amount, but you still have to hire them into your hand in order to use them each round. All right, and then finally here is a wild action. So what you could do is you could take the 6 action and use it as any other action with the amount, like say if you had 2 6 die, you could take a 2 strength action on any one of the other actions in the thing. Now every time you take an action with a certain amount of die, you would take one of those die and place it on your that little round thing I showed you there. If you're the first player, you get the first and the, say, 4th in a 2-player game. So you would place the die on that 1, and then when it came around to you again, that action would be a little bit, if it were still available, it would be a little weaker because you've taken a die off of it, and possibly the other player did too. So each time you use an action, it becomes 1 weaker. So that's pretty much it right there. Then you're just going to do 7 rounds, and at the end of 7 rounds, whoever is the high score is going to be the winner. So, all right, I'm going to just reset the camera and go over the rule book a little bit. All right, so here's the rule book to the Grand Austria Hotel. Not too many pages, but some good colorful examples of, so this is your components here and everything. And then it's explains what the cards do. Quest cards, which are the customers, and then staff cards. And then your hotel board, which each player gets. Different tracks, the Emperor track, the Victory Point track. How to set it up. So again, these are examples of, let's see if it says what it is. Politics cards. So these are called politics cards. So if you're the first player to complete this objective, you'll get $20. The first person to have $20 will get 15 victory points, second person 10, and third person 5. This one, I believe, is to have columns and stuff, or rows. I can't remember exactly what that says, but, and then this one right here is the first to have 4 rooms of yellow, 4 occupied rooms of yellow, and 3 occupied of blue, and you'll get 15, 10, and 5. So they're all 15, 10, and 5, depending upon if you're the first, second, or third player in a 3 or more player game. The Emperor tracks, as you can see here, these were the positive action thing is on the top, and the negative is on the bottom. And you usually have a choice on the bottom, not always, but sometimes you'll have a choice on the bottom of which negative action you want to take. Like this one is you lose 3 money or you lose 5 victory points. Okay, and then you have how to prepare a room for a customer. The objectives, course of play, taking a guess from the game board, and then taking an action, taking a die and carrying out the action. Goes through everything. Explains what each one does and how you do it. You can take additional actions occasionally. There are some free actions you can take. On your turn, you can pass, like I said, and then you can pass, and then if you can't, in a 2-player game, if you passed, you would take 1 die and you would put it into the trash can, and then well, you wouldn't do it right away, but if you passed and it came around to you and everybody else had passed, or it was your turn now and you passed it, and you decided you could take all the die minus that -1 you would put in the trash bin, and then you would roll the rest of them. So you're not going to have as many die chances each time you pass. So that would lower the amount of free dice available. Here's an example right here of what you do with the trash can right there. Okay, and then here is basically explanation of the cards, what each of the politics cards do, how to occupy the rooms, end of a round, the Emperor scoring, again the track stuff, what the Emperor tiles do, and then end game final scoring, and then there's a variant you can do, a couple of variant, introductory variant and a experienced player variant, and then credits and what all the staff cards do. So these are it's a good reference for that, for what all the staff cards do. More staff cards, what they do. Some quest, some more there. And then thanks to from Mayfair Games and Spiele. So a 16-page, and then these are overview of what the different iconography and stuff mean in the game. So alright, so that is pretty much Grand Austria Hotel. Definitely looking forward to playing this one. Probably play a game tonight, or at least during sometime over the weekend. So, but yeah, definitely a game that's been on our radar for a while. It's got some good reviews, and can't wait to play it. So again, I know that when we started doing these, that we were going to do some board game playthroughs. We haven't done those yet. Those are still in the works. Trying to get our gaming group together. Trying to get a formalized gaming group. We just have a couple people right now, but trying to get one to be consistent, and then we'll start doing some videos there. So thank you for joining me. It's been Eric from Higher Ground Gaming, and we will see you in the next unboxing video. This being Grand Austria Hotel. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye now.